heats differently than air. So water holds more heat than air. So if we get the greens wet, they're going to get hot. And hot greens, okay, what happens when it's cold outside, okay? Or when it's hot, when you blow it, when you have a balloon, okay, and you bring in a hot area, the air expands, okay? So when you have hot soil, okay, it holds less air, all right? So what we want to do is we want to try to keep it cool. Well, part of the whole process of drying out, what I teach my guys in Charlotte, we can hit the greens 10 times on a day, okay? And at the end of the day, the green is drier than it was when we started, hitting it 10 times with a hose, all right? This is your best friend, and everybody ought to have their own friend. They ought to have their own hose, they ought to have their own coupler, they ought to have their own nozzle. Now, I prefer brass nozzle with that, and teach that hose, okay? Teach it like it's, you know, it's your best friend. When you get the hose, you know, hose comes in a spool, you're going to unroll the hose like this, because they roll a hose in the factory, and they roll it like this, and the hose is going to roll like this. If you just throw the hose, you're going to get kinks in the hose. You don't want kinks in the hose, all right? You're going to unroll it opposite to the way you do it. And I fill them with water on a grass area in a warm place, and I let them sit, okay? So the hose just lays flat. And then you want to train the hose. See how I laid the hose up here? I want to train the hose how I roll it, because you got to be efficient in this process. It's a military operation. What I would say is we need 4 guys or 5 guys, and we split the greens up, okay? And you'll have routes, figure out which your worst greens are, okay? And you might be, and you got to do it based on, I don't know, the golf course, but you know, maybe one guy's a putting green, one guy's, you know, 1 and 18 is close to putting green. So we're going to hit putting green, 18, and the chipping greens, okay? And divide them up equally, all right? And you got to communicate and help each other. You got to know what to look for. The 2 guys water need, and the assistant needs to know what to look for as far as wilt, because you don't want to let them wilt. And you don't want to put too much water on. You don't want to react, you know, you don't want to be in a reactive state. So I'm going to train the hose. I like to go clockwise. Okay? Right. And then I got the hose right here. Now I put this right here. When I go, now I need to know where the coupler is. Let's go to the putting green. Okay, where's the coupler on the putting green?